Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a pretty wild thought experiment about our physical evolution. We're going to look at the fascinating and honestly somewhat alarming reasons why modern humans are drastically weaker than our ancestors. And we're not just talking about cavemen here. Whether we look back 20,000 years to our hunter-gatherer days, or even just 3,000 years ago to the humans physically hauling massive stones to build early civilizations, the physical contrast with us today is just staggering. Our ancestors possessed this raw, functional strength that we have largely lost. So let's explore exactly why that happened, and more importantly, what it means for you right now.
Just imagine this. You go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow completely alone in the freezing wild, 20 millennia in the past. You're entirely stripped of your smartphone, your food delivery apps, your climate-controlled bedroom, and literally every single modern convenience you rely on. There are no hospitals, no grocery stores, no safety nets. Just dense forests, cold winds, and the absolute raw reality of daily survival.
So ask yourself honestly, in that harsh, unforgiving environment, how long would you actually survive? Would you last a week? Could you even make it 3 days? Or, faced with the elements and predators, would you maybe not even last a single night? It's a pretty sobering thought, right? Especially when you realize that for ancient humans, this wasn't some nightmare apocalyptic scenario. This was literally just a Tuesday. They lived this reality every single day.
Section 1. Surviving the Ancient World.
Biologically speaking, our ancestors were operating on a completely different level of physical resilience. Think about it. Just a few thousand years ago during antiquity, humans were hauling raw materials to build entire cities completely by hand. They walked miles upon miles barefoot over incredibly rough terrain, and they survived brutal winters without central heating. In fact, an ancient laborer or hunter might burn upwards of 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day just existing and doing their work. Today, well, a lot of us get winded just climbing a single flight of stairs up to the office. It really forces us to ask a critical question. Did our incredible technological progress make us smarter, but fundamentally, physically weaker?
Section 2. The movement deficit.
So, the very first major factor in our physical decline is the complete removal of mandatory movement. Ancient humans never actively worked out. They didn't need gym memberships because survival itself was a rigorous, full-body workout every single day. Hunting, climbing, building shelters, gathering food, that was their entire existence. But today, movement is entirely optional. We sit to study, we sit to work at our desks, we sit to play video games, and we sit to watch TV. We spend up to 12 hours a day completely sedentary, and then we try to reverse all of that damage with, maybe 1 hour at the gym?
It all boils down to one brutal, unbreakable biological rule: use it or lose it. The human body is just incredibly efficient. If you don't demand strength from your muscles and bones, your body simply stops maintaining them to save energy. Because modern humans mostly just use our screens and our thumbs, our bodies have simply adapted to comfort. We removed the physical effort from our daily lives, and biology responded by stripping away our strength.
Section 3. The diet of convenience. Now, movement is really only half the story, right? The other half is sitting right on our dinner plates. Historically, our diet was entirely natural: meat, roots, fish, nuts, and getting that food required intense physical exertion. Every single calorie was hard-earned through foraging or hunting. But in the modern era, our food is highly engineered, packed with sugar and fast calories, and the effort to get it is absolute zero. Today, you can literally summon thousands of highly addictive calories right to your front door just by pressing a button on your phone. And here is the trap we're caught in. Your brain actually loves easy energy and comfort. Evolution wired us to seek out high-calorie foods and to rest whenever possible, because for our ancestors, starvation and exhaustion were constant, everyday threats. But in today's world of limitless calories and zero required movement, that survival mechanism is actively working against us. Modern life constantly pulls us toward weakness, and our ancient brains are rewarding us for it without us even realizing it's happening.
Section 4. The hidden cost of comfort.
Which brings us to the most invisible force eroding our physical capability: modern comfort. Humans spent tens of thousands of years locked in a bitter fight against nature. Now, we avoid the cold with central heating. We avoid the heat with air conditioning. We avoid walking by driving absolutely everywhere. We actively engineer physical struggle completely out of our lives. Now, comfort isn't inherently evil. Modern life obviously gave us incredible medical advancements and safety. But this total eradication of physical friction comes at a really steep price.
That hidden cost is our fundamental strength. Biology dictates that muscle and mental toughness are only built through resistance and stress. Endurance requires challenge to expand. By successfully escaping daily discomfort, we are completely changing what the human body actually is. Bottom line, no stress means no stimulus for strength.
Section 5. Reclaiming your ancient strength.
So are we just destined to become weaker and softer as technology advances? Absolutely not, because your body still remembers. Deep inside your DNA, your biology knows exactly what it was built for. It still craves movement, it still desperately wants sunlight, and it absolutely requires physical challenge to thrive. That ancient human instinct, the sheer resilience of a builder from 3,000 years ago or a hunter from 20,000 years ago, it never actually disappeared. It simply fell asleep.
And you can wake that biology right back up with just a few fundamental changes. Start walking more. Get outside and move how you were meant to. Train consistently to reintroduce that physical resistance your muscles are literally craving. Prioritize your recovery and sleep, just like our ancestors did when the sun went down. And eat a natural diet, cutting out those highly engineered convenience foods. The very moment you reintroduce these basic elements, your body responds incredibly fast, because you were built for so much more than just sitting at a desk all day. There's a thought that perfectly summarizes the grand bargain of the modern era. We traded movement for convenience, strength for comfort, survival for screens. Generation by generation, we made things just a little bit easier, and in the process, we slowly, quietly forgot what we were physically capable of achieving. But that ancient strength was never completely lost. The strongest, most resilient version of humanity is simply buried under layers of convenience and comfort. It's still right there inside you, encoded into your very biology, just waiting for the right stimulus to emerge.
So, the final question I'm leaving you with today is this. Your ancient strength is waiting. Now that you understand the evolutionary trap of modern comfort, and now that you know your true physical potential is merely asleep, what are you going to do today to wake it up? Challenge yourself. Step out of that comfort zone. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer, and I'll catch you next time.